with what we allow you to do. All that tax exemption and all that shit, that shit come with a price.
But shit, the HBUs was started by some of the white people. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of their fund. The HBUs early starts got a lot of their funding.
But after the civil rights movement, after they had to, like, basically the United States government were tired from fighting black movement over here, black movement over, Puerto Rican movement over here. Like, everybody was coming for the government in the 60s and 70s. To the point where they were completely exhausted. How can we stop this insurrection of people? That's when they start coming up with some of the wildest fucking ideas, which now have come into major play. But when they were just saying this shit back in the 70s, nobody thought, oh, they lying. They're like, nah, they talking about this shit. This shit went down big time. What Henry Kissinger was talking about, all of them. But it started from infiltrating the main places we have always congregated to talk in secret.
The church.
The church and the black colleges.
Yeah. But you think about how did George Bush #2 got elected. He went to the black churches, promised those black pastors degrees, money, and all that other stuff. And then your pastor will say, hey, y'all vote for George Bush. And then now you win in states that you never, Republicans never won. You know? So
that's how that shit went.
Well, we talked about community and such. You talked about lawyers and things and such being out of reach. But you have your own business. Would you like to tell us about that?
So I do. We have several businesses. So one of it is a record label. Me and my brother started called Brick Empire. And right now we actually looking for music artists and things of that nature. Not only musical, but just models, actors. So we just want to make it to a bigger entertainment.
Okay.
And also we got Sherman Investment Group, which we invest in properties and buy houses and rent them and things like that.
I can put down toilets. And I can
always need somebody.
do floors.
Always need some floors
I can
done
do kitchens.
Oh.
Some light electrical work. I can drop a line.
Okay, so you know, definitely.
Well, goddamn.
I know. One-stop shop.
When I had the Rona, I redid my kitchen. I was sending them pictures while I was doing
Our
it.
Jackie of all trades.
Yeah.
Our Jackie of all trades. Yeah.
But my ultimate goal is, like, you know, where I grew up, I want to be able to show them the opportunities, because I also do occupational therapy and I do nursing, but as a kid, those things weren't explained.
Nursing?
I do occupational therapy and LPN, occupational
You're
therapy.
LPN?
Yeah, I do both of them, yeah. And so when you kids, you don't hear about that stuff. I didn't even know males could nurse. I mean, that sounds retarded, but if you don't go to the hospital a lot, if you don't have
My grandma told me.
Be
My
a nurse?
grandma told me. She was like, what?
But see how many
bread?
But see
Go
how
work in
many
nursing
people?
home.
How many people you hear that? Like when I went back to school, I went back for therapy. And then I went to nursing, but then I went back again and got my degree with therapy. I never heard of an occupational therapist. I never heard of a physical therapist. I never heard of a speech therapist. None of those things when I went to Bennett or any other school. I never heard none of those things. And so when I first went to school, you open this big guidance counselor book and you see a million jobs. I met a guy in California who's a translator, make $80,000 a year translating in court. Who knew? Like I would have took Spanish a little bit more serious than high school or something.
That's not what we said, Jerron.
Not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
I'm not Hispanic.
But no, I'm just saying, but it's just like you never know. Look at all these jobs or things like, or then they teach you if you do become a lawyer or a doctor to work for Cleveland Clinic, when you could be a doctor and open your own practice. When you could be a lawyer and start your own practice. So that they have us thinking like we have to go to school to work for somebody and not go to school to own your own things. Or just waking up and say, hey, I want to do my podcast and start my own business, or I want to invest in real estate and start my own business, or stuff like that. They don't teach us to own nothing. They teach us if you don't go to school or if you do go to school, you got to work.
And I always hated school.
Yep.
School has been my mortal enemy my whole life. Like me and school have never got along. I'm like like TJ Detweiler.
That's myself.
I tried fuck
I was
with
so happy.
I missed many a first period
That's
that
my
you
show.
said.
I remember
Watch
college.
motherfucker.
I remember being that tech in the
Yeah.
motherfucking Central
Yeah.
State and all them
Yeah.
schools to come have y'all ass in the library and shit, trying to tell y'all what school y'all need to go to. So I'm like, my G, let me ask you this. If I hate regular school, it's free. You
You
want me
gonna
to
pay
pay?
to go hate
You want me
school?
to pay to go hate school?
Yeah.
Like you really asking me to pay this money? Like how much y'all giving me?
Exactly.
And then they break down grants and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, school was never explained like, hey, if you go and do this and learn this skill, learn this whatever,
You get a great job.
you can get this or you can do this.
Yeah.
School is always explained as some brick and mortar shit that is just pushing people through. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you just supposed to do it, go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, like what I was saying, like even about like going back into the community and teaching the youth, not only to like you go for your education, but teach them trades they could learn early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know that it could go a long way later on. If you want to work on cars, if you want to, you know, bring people in like, hey, you know, just to teach them early, and they could, by the time they see it as an adult, it's nothing in them. Now they done seen this a million times. I could do this without even thinking about it, and not and going to school where it's really a business at the end of the day.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just, you know, just like I feel like sometimes, not saying all our parents, but I would say like the generation before, they kind of fought for a lot of things we did. I feel like our parents' generation, not all of them, but I feel like they dropped the ball where we have to pick it up now and start back over. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's the all about me generation.
yeah.
That's where we got that shit from.
Yeah. And it start now. It's like we starting all over again from where what they already fought back in the, you know, during slavery 50s and 60s, and now when the 80s and 90s and stuff came, the 70s, 80s, 90s and whatever, that was their time. Like shoot, they was just talking about babies.
Everything is cyclical. So now we have the entitled generation. I deserve this because I woke up this morning. No, I'm gonna need to go wash the motherfucking dishes. You need to pick up your room.
I feel, and I feel so strongly that because I feel this way,
Because I'm feeling it.
so, and it's like,
But that's society though. Look what they just did to Mr. Potato Head.
yeah.
That's the most retarded.
But like who thinks
I
like
can
that?
talk
Who
about
like
that
we gonna make sure we change up
Look
Mr.
what the
Potato?
fuck
Who
they
was
did
thinking
to
about
Mr.
that?
Potato
That
Head.
That's the whole agenda.
That's
To
part of the whole
sexualize
day
these
agenda.
children,
But
that
who
whole
woke up
quality
and
shit.
say, you know what, Mr. Potato Head, it's too long. We need to.
Hey, but think about this shit.
All the parts were interchangeable any fucking
Anyway.
way. Buy 2 sets. Y'all losing money. That was a stupid business move.
First of all, also, pads. Feminine napkins. They have been feminine napkins and sanitary napkins and had a women's symbol on them for forever. Why? Because they're fucking women who bleed. These new hybrids come along
They want to participate.
and now they want to take, cause see, this is why
They
I
wanna
become a
participate.
feminist. And when I say I'm a feminist, I am a
You
woman.
talk about for women.
I am for women. Women with real pussies who bleed and have babies. No, I'm not with all
And
that.
actually
That
breastfeed.
hybrid shit.
You ain't with the
I
trans
ain't with none of that shit. Period.
Now you can't call breastfeeding breastfeed.
That
It's
is
like
like
they're
Oh,
taking-
the breast. The
yeah.
child feeds off of it.
there
What the
is
fuck?
something else.
I mean, but
But
look
that's
though,
who that deal.
this is the price we
are not
pay
though.
for equality.
I'm not asking for equality. I was cool with
This
separate.
is the end result of the
No,
feminist movement.
no.
Not just feminist.
No.
But the feminist movement
I
ushered
want
in
to
the
be, I want to be
LGBT
paid the same
movement.
thing as you. I don't want you to wear my pads.
All right, see, look, put it like this.
They didn't put no boundaries where there were supposed to be equality. It was always
That was a white person problem. It wasn't ours.
no, it was never ours.
It wasn't
That's
never
the whole
ours.
problem.
It's a white person problem.
But when they took the jobs away from the men, when they stopped putting the trades in the schools. Because remember back in the day when we was coming up through junior high school, you still had wood shop classes where you still had the whole ass machines in the floor.
And the leather belt.
Yeah,
Boston.
by the time y'all got to junior high
They
school,
took by the time we was there, I had that shit.
We
They
still
took
had it.
that shit from us.
Yeah,
They took that. I remember when they took the shit from us because it was like at first we got Auto Shop, we got Mr. Gear, we got
yeah.
Mr. Collier, we got Mr. Wayne, we
I'm
got all
talking
our
about when we got to junior high school.
man.
I'm
that
not talking about fuck before we even got to tech. I'm talking about when I was.
No, when we got to junior high school,
Yeah.
we was science kids.
I'm
So
talking about going to Wilson where they had the actual shop classes.
We
where
had
they
science.
we
That's
had
what we
science.
had.
Yeah, like we had science. Like I remember being
I
at
tried that
Elliott.
smart shit.
They had,
I was
like,
fallacy.